So the markets are already recovering from the most recent crash. We see that today pretty much everything is on the green. Altcoins are recovering much better than Bitcoin today, but at the same time they also fell much worse than Bitcoin. So it would make sense that they do that. So we're going to talk about the markets today. We're going to look at some of the news as well. This is coming in today's episode. Welcome everyone to Crypto Corner, your crypto radar for all of the latest news, reviews, market analysis and tutorials that help you master the cryptocurrency markets. Now, in today's episode, I will be talking a little bit about Bitcoin, a little bit about Solana, of course, and also I want to draw your attention to a big announcement that they just did. So stay tuned. Now, first of all, this is the Bitcoin dominance. We can see that it is actually dropping. We are now at 41%. We went even below that very briefly. We are just climbing again to the 41%, but definitely over the last few days, we have been dropping. And this is a trend that has been happening now for months already. This is really opening the door to another altcoin season. That is actually, I think we are already in that altcoin season. We see, Solana 28% since yesterday. Seriously, what is going on? Was I wrong about Solana yesterday? I guess I was, because I was talking about the fact that Solana is in the overbought RSI for quite some time. And it is due a correction. We can see on this chart here that it's not only the RSI, the MACD is also looking bearish to me, but we saw yesterday a big spike again in the price today, continuing, and this is supported by volume. Volume is also coming in as the price is going up, which is bullish. So apparently Solana has no intention to stop here, and it will be in the overbought RSI for much longer than it's supposed to be. So at this point, it is again in uncharted territory. It printed a new all-time high. Most likely we are getting quite a resistance here at this price level, which is way above $200. Well, not way above, but it is above $200, and we were expecting that 200 will be the ceiling. Clearly it isn't. 208.92 as we speak. So Solana is continuing this pump, and it is actually due to another NFT marketplace that went live on Monday, and this time it is hosted by ftx.us. This is a regulated exchange that is in the United States, so this is definitely now one of the strongest competitors for popularity in terms of exchanges. It is involved with NFTs, and NFTs on Solana are actually the reason. This is reported here by the Cointelegraph. They're the main reason why we're seeing this boom in Solana. At the same time as we had the market drop and or crash or correction, whatever you want to call it, Solana also corrected, gave us a great opportunity to reaccumulate if you were selling previously, or if you missed your chance to buy Solana cheap. When this market crash happened, Solana dropped all the way to 130 something. So this was amazing buy opportunity. A lot of my buy orders were filled in. Actually, all of them got filled in. I did have a couple of orders sitting at 133 that didn't get filled in, but I already changed this, and I reaccumulated. So I'm very happy that I did. Yesterday I mentioned that Solana was in the overbought region and that it is due a correction, and that I wouldn't really be buying it at 160, but boy was I wrong. I should have probably skipped that altogether, because first of all, it's not meant to be financial advice, but I know some people might actually take it like that, and if you didn't take that trade, then probably today you're feeling gutted about it, that it's already pumped and everything. But don't forget, guys, everything that goes up at some point comes down, and Solana being in the overbought RSI for so long is not sustainable. So definitely we are going to see a correction in Solana. It's just a matter of when, not a matter of if. And even though in the long term now, if you are not a short-term trader, if you are more of an investor, then you shouldn't really worry about the price swings. I say that every time, and you should buy it every time you get an opportunity. Obviously not at an all-time high, ideally during a correction, which is what we saw 2 days ago, and another one will come. So basically, if you didn't buy Solana and you're thinking of buying it right now, I can't really give you an advice. I can't really tell you whether it is a good idea to be buying it at this point or not. But definitely, if you're looking long term, here is the Cointelegraph also comparing Solana to Ethereum, saying that how this bull run that is currently happening in Solana is compared to what Ethereum did back in 2017 when it went from $8 to $1,000. So Solana is already doing something similar. Could it actually go to 500 as this title claims here? I feel that it's possible. It is achievable. And but you know, this price target is not necessarily for the next few weeks or the next few months. This is a price target for this bull run. This bull run can actually end next year rather than this year. But I mean, they're very right here in this analysis. They're saying that Solana's ability to sustain bearish pressure brought even more investors' interest in Solana, and it makes it now as an emerging rival to Ethereum. In fact, I don't think it's emerging anymore. I think it's already established as a rival to Ethereum. And Ethereum 2.0 is actually not happening until next year. There's still many things that are unclear about it. The London hard fork introduced a different fee structure that is actually seeing a lot of burning of Ethereum, but it didn't actually help the fees to go lower. And this is a major issue. Many people, even though I already spoke about this earlier and I mentioned that most likely we're not going to see a big change in the fees in terms of how much fees we pay. They're still very high and everything. Many people expected that the London hard fork of Ethereum is actually going to bring a drop in the fees, and it didn't really do that. All we did is make Ethereum a somewhat of a deflationary token, which is great, don't get me wrong, but it's not it's not faster, it's not cheaper to transact on Ethereum. So a lot of NFTs are now migrating to Solana, and Binance Smart Chain, of course. Syscoin is also having NFTs. There's many there's many now blockchains that are starting to get into NFTs. Cardano any day now is going to have their hard fork as well. They're going to start building smart contracts. They're going to get into the NFT space as well. So we're going to see a lot of migration from Ethereum to other blockchains, and Solana is definitely right now the hype. Everyone is talking about Solana. This is why we are not seeing a correction, even though it is way overdue. It is really time to see a correction in Solana that will present many people a great buy opportunity. But the thing is, because it's so hyped and everyone is FOMOing right now, fear of missing out, everyone is rushing into buying Solana, and nobody is actually allowing it to correct. So even when it drops by 3%, everyone is buying it already, and they don't allow it to drop by 15-20%, which is what we need to see in a bull market, a healthy correction that will present some accumulation points. So anyway, DeFi is actually also in the news. Apparently, during the second quarter, this is also reported by the Cointelegraph. According to Chain Analysis, which is one of the analytics firms that is pushing a lot of different statistics and things, in the second quarter of this year, institutional investors were actually dominating the DeFi, and this is important because prior to that, we didn't really, most of the institutional investors were mainly betting on Bitcoin and Ethereum. Now we are actually seeing them being interested in DeFi, and here the quote is that large institutional transactions, meaning those above $10 million, accounted for over 60% of DeFi transactions in the second quarter of this year, compared to under 50% of all cryptocurrency transactions. So definitely institutional interest in DeFi is growing now. DeFi is back right now. Even after this correction, DeFi is again approaching $80 billion in total locked value, which is a huge amount. Of course, we went higher earlier and we have dropped now. We actually went to almost 100 billion. 98 it shows me here on the 7th of September, just before the crash. But even with this crash right now, we are at 80 billion in DeFi. So definitely DeFi is back in full swing. The DEXs are really good, but even better are actually DEXs aggregators. And 1inch is one of these. You can actually swap tokens on your favorite Uniswap or Paraswap and other DEXs by comparing quotes for rates and fees that are applicable, meaning that you're guaranteed to get the best price for each trade. And this is why I'm using 1inch to actually compare prices when I have to do decentralized exchange type of operations. If you have been using decentralized exchanges, then you know how they operate and you know their interface and everything. It's pretty much the same across the board. So using something like 1inch is very simple if you've already used Uniswap or PancakeSwap or any of the other decentralized exchanges. But the main difference is that with 1inch, you can actually compare the prices between different exchanges and choose whether you want to use a Uniswap for this particular swap or you want to use a different exchange. MetaMask recently did something similar where they introduced a direct swap within their service and they're also comparing different quotes. But when I actually tested it and I compared it, I realized that you're actually paying much higher fees when you're doing this directly from MetaSwap. So I wouldn't recommend you to be doing this. If you're going to be doing any kind of decentralized exchange coin swaps, then it wouldn't make sense to be using MetaMask or even directly going to Uniswap or something like that, because with 1inch you can see all of these prices that are already on the other exchanges and you can choose which one you want to use, and it will also depend on the volume of the transaction of the swap that you want to make, because certain exchanges might not really have that much liquidity, so you might not be able to perform a particular swap at the best rate at a certain exchange. And this is why a data aggregator like 1inch is actually much more useful in this regard. But more importantly, why I'm talking about 1inch is this announcement that they made here. This is on their official blog and we can also see it on their Twitter. So basically right now they have this special promotion that they're doing and they're refunding the gas costs to users, meaning that basically the transactions that you are doing and you are paying for gas fees, these fees could be returned to you. So to qualify, of course, there are certain conditions that have to be met, and this is the tweet that actually points them out, but you can also see it here on their official announcement, on their official blog. So basically the 1inch Foundation will distribute 10 million 1inch tokens as gas cost compensation, and to qualify for this, users have to be staking 1inch tokens. Of course, this is actually a great idea because it will create scarcity of the token on the market, and as a result, we could actually see the price go up even more. And the mechanism for calculating the remuneration is as follows. So staking 100 1inch tokens will give you the right to a refund of 25% of the money spent on gas fees. Staking 1000 1inch tokens gives you the right to 50% refund, and staking 10,000 1inch tokens will give you 75% of these expenses back, or staking 100,000 1inch tokens will give you all of these gas fees back. And users will start receiving this token on the first day of each month. In fact, already in September, this is the announcement, this is the tweet that actually confirms this. Already at the beginning of September, they distributed 155,500 1inch tokens to users that took part in this program. So people who did that already in August, and you can continue this will continue, this offer will actually continue all the way until they distribute all the 10 million tokens that they're saying here. And also in a follow-up tweet, they said, quickly a reminder, to be eligible for monthly gas fee refunds, 1inch user has to stake 1inch tokens for the entire period between their first swap of the month and the day of the gas refund distribution. So if you do that now, if you stake now, you will qualify from the day you start until the day of the distribution. So the earlier you are, the better it is for you. So this is why us being in the beginning of September still is actually giving you quite enough time to, if you're using 1inch, or maybe to start using 1inch instead of going straight to Uniswap or going to any of the other DEXs, you can actually use any of these DEXs but via 1inch, you see, and this way you can still claim your gas fees back. On top of that, they have a mobile app for iOS which you can use on the go. So many people who are not really keen on using their computer, I know so many people these days that do everything from their mobile phone, so you can actually access 1inch on your mobile phone, especially if you're using Apple. So this is the app that they're advertising here on iOS. Also, 1inch has a referral referral program. So this is something that you might be familiar with, because this is a it's basically called affiliate marketing. It's very popular in crypto. All the top crypto players are having that. Binance, kucoin, Coinbase, Ledger, and many other major players in the crypto space are having such affiliate plans to actually help them grow their user base and for their users to be compensated for their help in their growth. So this is great too. This is a blog post where they actually explain what you need to do in order to get a referral link, and then you can share it with friends and people that are interested, and you can actually make some passive income from this too. So I'm actually going to drop the link to this blog post directly here so that you can get some of this hopefully you can get some referrals and referral rewards. I mean, they're really good rewards actually, if you notice. So definitely it is worth doing that. I've been using, as you can see actually below in the links that I always drop, some of these links are referral links. You know, some of these exchanges and services, crypto services that I'm personally using, they have, most of them, they have affiliate plans. And of course, I'm taking advantage of that. I mean, I've been with Coinbase ever since they started, or ever since I started in crypto. And I've already made a few $1,000s in this, and they only give you $10 actually. Coinbase probably has the worst affiliate plan if we compare it with Binance or KuCoin or 1inch, of course, and all of the other exchanges. Coinbase only gives you $10 when someone signs up with your link and they buy their first $100 worth of Bitcoin or other crypto, but they don't really give you recurring payouts, recurring commissions. And yet, even still with that $10, I mean, because they pay it in crypto, over time it actually grows, and it's already thousands of dollars that I've made with Coinbase alone. Binance, I've made even more. KuCoin, I've also, I mean, they have been, it's not life-changing money, but it definitely helps to be using the referral links wherever you can. So if you have a blog, or if you just have a network of friends and people, or maybe you're big on Twitter or something like that, definitely it's worth having these affiliate links. So with 1inch you can actually get that, and I urge you to actually go and check it out, and check out this link here, this post where they actually explain how this works. I will drop it in the description below, and also the link to 1inch is in the description below. So if you're not yet using 1inch, then what are you waiting for? I mean, for me, it's really a no-brainer, because it really pays to be able to compare different price quotes when you're making coin swaps. There's no point just sticking to Uniswap when you can actually compare a token swap between Uniswap and 3 or 4 other exchanges, or sometimes even 5 or 6, depending on the trading pair that you want to be swapping. So definitely I'm a big fan of 1inch, and I'm really happy actually to see that they're doing this initiative here, that they are going to be distributing 10 million of their token. First of all, this is good because it means more people are now going to start using their token, so it brings more adoption to their token. Second, they're asking users to stake their token, which I feel it's quite a fair game. This way, they're actually going to create more scarcity, as I mentioned, on the market, so there will be less of these tokens being traded. And as you have that, it definitely brings a higher price, because if the demand is the same, or if the demand grows a little bit and then the supply is being reduced, you end up with a spike in the price. So it is a win-win situation. This episode of Crypto Corner is sponsored by SecuX, maker of the top hardware wallets on the market. Their flagship device is the SecuX V20, a robust touchscreen device providing a secure and multifunctional crypto wallet that supports thousands of coins and tokens, and even enables DeFi transactions. It has a complete suite of security features in place, from protected production chain and tamper-resistant packaging right down to its military-grade CCEAL5 Plus certified secure element for keeping your assets safe. Its rugged aluminum case ensures years of protection. It's equipped with USB and Bluetooth connectivity to be used on your Windows, Mac or Linux computers, iPhones, iPads and Android devices. It's super easy to navigate with simple streamlined interface, a large screen, and it's one of the easiest devices to set up. You can check out my setting up tutorial here on YouTube. The link is in the description below. And also there is my discount code. You can buy one of these with 15% discount if you use my code. So go ahead, check out the links below and get the SecuX V20 or its smaller and cheaper brother, the W20. Both devices are safe, simple, and provide super secure storage for all your cryptos. I also interviewed Alice Chang from their team to discuss the unique features of their product, including its self-destruct mechanism for any forced entry or attempt at hacking the device. The discount codes you should apply at the checkout when ordering the device from their official website, linked below. To get 15% off SecuX V20 and W20, use the coupon code OJ. Or to get 10% off SecuX W10, use coupon code OJW10. Okay, moving on to the last piece of news that I want to present to you today. This is about Shiba finally being added to Coinbase Pro. There were rumors about it. I think at some point they almost added it, but then they didn't. And this is now the announcement that they're finally adding it. Shiba is a meme coin just like Dogecoin. And in fact, it was kind of riding the popularity of Dogecoin in its first, when it was first launched and everything. Then, of course, the market dropped and it went into a strong correction, and the coin lost a lot of its value. There were rumors that Coinbase is going to be adding it, so many people were accumulating it during these rumors. I talked about this maybe more than a month ago. I can't remember in which episode exactly, but if you remember, I was talking about accumulating Shiba, and now we are finally seeing that this is going to be happening today. I think if everything goes according to plan, trading will go live today at 9 a.m. Pacific time, which is probably a few hours after I post this video, maybe during the time I post this video. It depends on how long it's going to take me to actually get it ready and put it out there. As you know, I don't really do live streams because unfortunately my internet here, I'm in the mountains, my internet is not fast enough to do live streams. Otherwise, I would have loved to be doing all of these episodes as live streams, and it would have saved me so much time. But nevertheless, I'm personally not a big fan of meme coins, and for me these are really only speculative assets. So if you are going to be getting into Shiba because of this, then be very cautious about it, because as these things get listed on Coinbase, they usually pump very briefly, but after that they go into a big correction, and there is usually a big dump just after they get, or immediately as they get listed. I mean, Shiba is supposed to be burning half of its supply and stuff like that. I'm not really following it very closely. I only accumulated it with purely speculative nature, and I'm now selling as it gets listed on Coinbase. And if I see a bit more of a pump, I will be selling, because at the moment it seems like it is hitting a bit of a resistance, but I'm expecting that it could actually go a little bit higher than this, and that will be a great swing trading opportunity. But then I will not be reaccumulating. This is not a coin that will stay in my portfolio, just like Dogecoin is not a coin that stays in my portfolio. I take advantage of market swings on these, and I would buy them maybe for a few weeks, but typically I don't like to hold these kind of tokens for longer than a few weeks or maybe a month or so. I don't really hold them for a few months or a year or anything like that. I've learned my mistake. I used to hold Dogecoin for at least a couple of years. 2017, 2018, 2019, during that period I was holding it because I had bought it at much higher price than it was at some point. But during this bull market I didn't really hold it. I was selling it when I see a pump. As it goes down, I would buy it again and I would sell it at the next pump, and I wouldn't really be holding very much. So for me, it doesn't make sense to be holding a meme coin, because it doesn't have strong fundamentals, it doesn't have utility, it doesn't have anything besides just pure hype. And hype is good for the short term, but it's not great for a long term, because it doesn't last long term. So this is where I'm going to leave you for today's episode. Thanks for staying until the end. I hope this brings you value, and if it did, please share it with someone else who will benefit from the information that I presented to you here. Also, show your support by leaving a like and a comment below. And please ignore all the spam comments. There are loads of these. I know as my channel grows and gains more popularity, I get more spam. I would never share my phone publicly or invite any of you to WhatsApp me, so these are spammers. Don't reply to them. Also, make sure that you check out the links in the description below where I list all of my top crypto services, exchanges, wallets, my top charting tools for market analysis, and my 2 ebooks, Learn Crypto, the ultimate beginner's guide to investing in cryptocurrencies, where I share with you everything that I have learned in my 6 years in this industry and all of my mistakes. And also Crypto Jargon A to Z. This is my complete crypto dictionary with almost 1,000 terms and acronyms and trading slang that you should know. It is an Amazon bestseller and it is now in its 3rd edition and at a super low price as well. If you want to be on my mailing list and receive my bi-weekly crypto newsletter, the link is also in the description below. Well, trade carefully and stay profitable.